Aiden. Aiden. Okay. You learned how to do SOHCAHTOA, right? SOHCAHTOA requires you have a right triangle. What happens if you don't have a right triangle?
You don't do it.
Exactly. You don't do it. I'm going to look at a triangle that's not a right triangle. We could do like 3 or 4 proofs in this class. We're just going to do one. It's very basic. Yep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a triangle. And I don't have a right triangle, so I'm going to make a right triangle. I'm just going to drop this side right here and make a right angle. And we're going to call that side H. H for height. Yeah, why don't you do this? Otherwise you'll be lost with this. If we've got side or angle A there, we're going to have side A over here. And if we have angle B over here, we have side B over here. And then this is going to be side C. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to write an expression that uses different parts of the triangle, including H. Can somebody tell me what is the trig function that deals with angle A, side H, and side B? Does anybody know if you would use sine, cosine, or tangent in that situation? Why? Very good. Look at this. So Greta says if I'm talking about angle A, I'm going to use sine with H and B. Watch me write the expression. Sine of angle A is equal to side H over B. There's another trig function that I can use, or another angle I could use, that would also involve side H. I'm going to come on over here to angle B. Can somebody tell me which trig function would deal with angle B, side H, and side A? It would be sine again, wouldn't it? Yeah. And so we're going to write this. Sine of B is equal to H over A. And it gets pretty simple after that. We're going to come up with a formula that's really nice to use. Notice what these both have. They both have an H. And I could solve for H by simply multiplying both sides by B. And if I do that, I get B times the sine of A is equal to H. What would I do to solve for H in this bottom one? Multiply both sides by A. A. And I get A sine of B is equal to H. Hey, look at that. Both my expressions are equal to what? H. So if they're both equal to H, then I can take this one and plug it in for H. And look at the expression I get. B times the sine of A is equal to A times the sine of B. I'm going to do one last trick to make it look really nice, and it'll be in the form that we use over the course of this entire unit. I'm going to divide both sides by AB. Boys, and if I divide by AB, notice the B's go away, and I'm left with the sine of angle A divided by side A is equal to What's over here? Sine of angle B divided by side B. And if we wanted to, we could also write sine of angle C divided by side C. This is the law of sines. Your goal today and for this unit is to be able to solve triangles by using the law of sines. Is this something you've seen before? I didn't know if possibly you used it in geometry at all. You what? I don't believe that. I try and picture you being bad at anything. I can't picture that. I'm going to call you a liar on that one. We're going to make a triangle ABC, and we are going to solve this triangle. I'm going to do side A, angle A, angle B, angle C, side A, side B, and side C. So what's different about this is that you don't know that C is a 90-degree angle. C does not have to be a 90-degree angle in this situation at all. And it sounds like it's more difficult. The fact is that people usually do better with this than they do with SOHCAHTOA. And you say SOHCAHTOA is easy, that means that this is going to be super easy for you. So I'm going to label the sides here. What side is this? Good. This is C. This one? A. Good. So I've got my sides labeled. What parts of the triangle do I already know? Yep, 42 degrees and 80 degrees. I'm going to label that 42 degrees and 80 degrees. Side A is 10. I'm going to write 10. What's the easiest part to find? The other angle. Why? Because all the angles add to 180. So I'm going to take out my calculator. I'll take 180 degrees, 180, and I'm going to subtract 80, and I'm going to subtract 42. And I get 58. Let's go. Now, it's simple. I use the law of sines. And the law of sines says the sine of angle A over A is equal to sine of angle B over B, which is equal to sine of angle C over C. And I'm just going to set up two parts of that. What you need is an angle and its opposite side. Which one do you have where you have the angle and its opposite side? Yeah, A, right? You've got 42 for the angle, and then you got the opposite side of 10. In order to use the law of sines, that's what you have to have, an angle and its opposite side. So let's set that up. Sine of 42 divided by 10 equals Izzy. Would you like to find angle C or angle B? I'm sorry, side B or side C? It's up to you. She wants to find side B. So if she wants to find side B, which angle should she use? B. Angle B. So the sine of angle B, which is 80, divided by side B. Notice what we have. Sine of A over A equals sine of B over B. Let's cross multiply. I take this times this, and I get B sine of 42 is equal to 10 sine of 80. What am I trying to solve for? Trying to solve for B, right? What would I do to solve for B? I'd divide by. So I get B is equal to 10 sine of 80 divided by the sine of 42. So let's figure that out. What's that? Trust me, it will be. Okay, so we've got that. So I take out my calculator, and just be careful as you type it in. 10 sine of 80, make sure that you close your parenthesis around the 80, and then it's divided by the sine of 42. And for this, we're working in degrees. So make sure that your calculator is not set to radians. Make sure it's set to degrees. And then press enter, and it tells you 14.72. I'm going to have you do this next part on your own. Okay? You want to find side C. If you want to find side C, which angle are you going to use? You're going to use angle C. Notice that you now have side B is 14.72. So you could do sine of 80 over that, or you could go back and use sine of 42 over 10. You can use either the B set or the A set. See if you can set it up and see if you can find side C. Go. Sine of something over something equals sine of something over something. Can't use a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared because it's not a right triangle. Okay, sure. I'm going to do sine of what? 42 over 10 is equal to sine of 58 over C. So if you don't have a calculator that stores all that stuff, what you can do is you can also just turn them into decimals. So watch, sine of 42, I go sine of 42. I press enter, and I get 0.669. 0.669 divided by 10 is equal to, and then I can do sine of 58. I get 0.848 over C. So, Luke, this would help you. You could just turn them both into decimals and then cross multiply from there if you want. Notice I get 0.699C is equal to 10 times that is 8.48. Divide both sides by 0.699. So again, if you want to just convert them to decimals, that's another way to do it. Let's try it. I get 8.48 divided by 0.699, and I get 12.13. Oh, it's not 0.699, it was 0.669, wasn't it?
Yeah, 669.
Let's try it again. 8.48 divided by 0.669. I got 12.68. Yes? Okay, 12.67. Okay, take out your worksheets. Okay, what I would like you to do is please focus on the left side of the worksheets. Do not do the right side as of right now. So the right side is different. We want to focus on the left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quick draw a little triangle here with A, B, and C. A is 85 degrees, and B is 32 degrees. And side B is 20. So we're going to follow very similar to what we just did. You tell me which is the first part that you would like to find. Other angle. Sophie says that all the angles add up to 180. So I took 180 minus 85 and minus 32. 63. This is not a right triangle. And because it's not a right triangle, I can't use SOHCAHTOA. So set up the law of sines for me. The sine of what over what? Good. The sine of 32 over 20. Notice you need an angle, and you need the angle's opposite side. Equals what over what? Sure, we'll do sine of 85 over A. Now, if you get used to the cross multiplying piece, can everybody see I'm going to multiply these two? And I'm going to divide by this one. So I can do that operation pretty quick in my calculator. I'm going to multiply these two, and I'll be dividing by that one. So 20 sine of 85, and I'll be dividing by the sine of 32. 37.60. That's not an operation you can do yet, then go ahead and convert them to decimals and go from there. But this is the minimal work that I want to see when you're doing your test, so I know which ones you're using. I got to find C. So I'll set up sine of 32 again over 20 is equal to what over what? Sine of 63 over letter C. So you can see I'm going to multiply the 20 and sine of 63. And then I'll be dividing by the sine of 32. $33.63. Makes pretty quick work of the problem. I'm going to assess the reasonableness of my solution. I have the largest angle A, and that matches to the largest side A. I have the smallest angle B, and that matches to the smallest side B as well. So it looks like my answer is reasonable. What do you think? Josh, you like it because you say, you can do this, right? All right. You have the rest of the time to work. Please stay on the right side, or I'm sorry, the left side of the worksheet. Don't go over to the right side. Stay on the left side of the worksheet.